What is up, my dudes? This is Trent. Got my laptop, guys. I know the laptop was lost for a little bit last time. Somebody might have been a little worried about that. I am here and I am ready to go. Seth and Jordan will be getting on later. I believe Seth had some kind of World of Warcraft deal, and Jordan has, I'm not quite sure what Jordan has going on. Probably some, last second March Madness, getting ready for something like that. So today's episode, we got our top 5 wide receiver duos. So we got some good ones, and this is just from a fantasy football perspective. And so we'll be going from there, but I just wanted to start this thing off. T.Y. Hilton comes out today, and long heartfelt message on X that he's retiring from the NFL, that his number, he once a Colt, always a Colt, does this whole thing. And am I the only one that realized that T.Y. Hilton just retired? I thought T.Y. Hilton had been retired for years. This is new to me. This is equivalent to me going back to my boss, going out on social media and saying, hey, remember that paper route I did in 2002? Yeah, I'm retiring. That's essentially what T.Y. Hilton did today, retiring from the NFL. Let me know in the chat. We are live on YouTube and X as always. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree with it? Bill coming in saying the boys are tardy. Yeah, the dudes are tardy, Bill. They'll be here shortly. Don't worry. But yeah, you can't come in. And I don't know, last time T.Y. Hilton was relevant, I believe was when he was playing the Dallas Cowboys. Had that little last, I believe it was the year the Cowboys lost to the Packers in the playoffs. Was the last year that we had a relevant T.Y. Hilton. So it's been a while. It's been at least 2 to 3. I believe that was 3 years ago. So T.Y. Hilton coming out announcing his retirement. I am shocked he wasn't retired already. So, guys, let me know what you think. We got March Madness on the brink. I believe it might be March Madness Eve. Jordan's getting those last second brackets in there, guys. So, just some stuff before the guys jump on. I wanted to talk about Cleveland Browns submitted a rule today. They submitted that Cleveland Browns submitted a rule that would allow teams to trade draft picks 5 years instead of 3. And the Cleveland Browns going out here and making this rule after what they did with Deshaun Watson. This is like that guy that goes to the poker table and he loses. And then after he loses the whole house, and he comes back ready to play again. It makes no sense why the Cleveland Browns think they should do this. Obviously, they haven't played fantasy football, dynasty leagues, where you can trade picks like that. Entertainment-wise, I love it. From, teams that are bad, maybe not a good idea. Guys in the chat, let me know. Do you like the 5-year draft picks? Right now, it's 3 years, and I think that's enough. So it would be entertaining for sure. Trading picks, 5 years out. Honestly, let's do it. Let's just bring it. Let's let it happen. I doubt the NFL goes for it, but from a pure entertainment standpoint, like what's Jerry Jones got to lose trading draft picks from 5 years out from now? He probably won't even be alive. Maybe not. I think it's from an entertainment aspect, I love it. So, yes, is it a smart thing to do? No, it's not. But entertainment standpoint, I absolutely love it. And think of like the Rams with Sean McVay. How many picks is Sean McVay just throwing out there? Like, 5 years out? Yeah, I don't care. Just throwing them out. Like free candy. You might as well drive a van to the draft that says free picks, draft picks, of course, and just see who enters the van. I think it's a good idea. So, guys, we got a couple guys jumping on later. We'll be getting after it there. I'm not sure how I'm feeling with the hat right now with this whole camera angle. So, guys, let me know in the chat. Bill's in the chat. We got Liberty Allen in the chat. Waiting for the other guys to get online. We're on X. We're on YouTube. Give us that like. Give us that sub. Remember, don't be rude. Share the dudes. Really helps us out. And so, we'll go from there. So, other things I kind of want to talk about here. I got T.Y. Hilton. I got the season opener. So season opener, a little different this year, guys. Anybody see this? Current plan right now is Seahawks to open the season on Wednesday, September 9th, rather than the traditional Thursday night opener. They That's from the Wall Street Journal. The Rams and 49ers would play from Melbourne, Australia, the very next day. So we get a Wednesday night game, we get a Thursday night game, and then we got to wait till Sunday, I believe, till we get a little more action. So action-packed week. I don't dislike it. I think I kind of like it there. So yeah, things a little bit different. And yeah, it's just like the NFL is slowly taking over every single day of the week, and which could be a nightmare from, the NFL as we know it. So yeah, let me know there, guys. Franchise Rodriguez, his name is Scarlett, in the chat. Give us that like, give us that sub, get the chat coming, guys. What do you want us to talk about? Break down some Dynasty football trades, all that good stuff as always. Going over here, I got a little bit of a trade here. I had a poll. I had somebody reach out to me. It was Cowboy Derek, who is a Texans fan, reached out on X. He said, looking for a big PPR Dynasty trade. He's Team A. He's holding Brock Bowers and Addison. So he would be trading Brock Bowers and Jordan Addison. The offer is Marvin Harrison Jr. and Colston Loveland. And we got a lot of juice here on X in the poll. Personally, I'm leaning the Marvin Harrison Jr., Colston Loveland side between Brock Bowers and Jordan Addison. Not that I like the quarterback situation more in Arizona. I like the upside of Marvin Harrison Jr. still. I'm not ready to give up on him. I think he's still young. I think we got to hold. We got to wait. And Loveland's looking really good. Loveland led his team in receptions, led his team in receiving yards. The votes, when it came out to 52%, voted for Team B, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Colston Loveland. And that's the side I lean to. Brock Bowers is great. Addison's good, but I think the upside of MHJ and Loveland, I think you got to go on that side. But guys, let me know in the chat what you're thinking there. Oh, right. So this guy should be jumping on here shortly. Keep saying that. Don't know what's going on. Don't know what Seth is doing. Seth said he was getting on. Seth's in the wrong stream. I'm gonna help Seth out here. So let me help him out here. Gonna just hop away here for a second here. Copy the link, post it in there, and let me see here. This is not great entertainment. Having the wrong stream there. So, guys, what we doing here? Any good food out there? Got late, Wednesday night on the eve of March Madness. Anyone got any good picks here? We got Bill saying, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on in the chat. Maybe you have a little bit of bots there. Bill might be a bot for all I know. So where are we going here? Going to be hopping into the top 5 fantasy wide receiver duos. I'm going to highlight this here for Seth. Get him helped out a little bit there. Jordan on his way, running late. And yeah. So Seth has entered. Waiting for Seth to hop on here. I'm sure he has a great reason here. Seth, how we doing, man?
I'm here. It was a little hard to find the link, but I found it.
I just put it in the main chat right there. I wish you would have called me.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. So I broke down a little bit, Seth, of some trades. I started talking a little bit about the NFL switching to a Wednesday night opener, then a Thursday night opener this year, which is a little bit different. And then I have an idea here. I know baseball's around the corner. Not really supposed to talk about it yet, but I saw this on X and I can't take credit for it. The guy said his girlfriend came up with it. But what about hidden bullpens, Seth? And you don't know who's coming out. So that the other guys can't really prep on the other side as well. Like what pinch hitter am I going to bring? And you don't know till the song plays or the guy gets announced. So the bullpens, maybe under the stadium in a back room, something like that. And it's just like, we don't know who's warming up. Are they warming up the lefty? What are they doing? It changes it a little bit, I think. How do you like the hidden bullpen idea?
Definitely changes it up for sure, though. But I would say
probably not worth it.
I think it's fine. I don't know. I would still argue for open bullpen. I know there's I think the new rules have kind of changed how that can be, because there used all those rules where, you could just, the MLB was just rotating through these pitchers like crazy. And after these rule changes now, you can't do that as much. You can't step off the mound as much. There's a lot less wasting time. So I think it's fine now than what it was like 3 years ago when it was kind of like, man, baseball's taking forever.
Yeah, I think it's good for the sport. So Seth, I did a dynasty trade here. I had somebody ask this, Cowboy Derek. I was on the team B side. He said someone PPR dynasty trade. He's holding Bowers and Addison. Someone offered him Marvin Harrison Jr. and Colston Loveland. Would you do this trade? So you're trading Bowers, probably the number one tight end in dynasty format right now, and Jordan Assenberry, getting Marvin Harrison Jr. and Colston Loveland.
Man, that's hard. I would say feels like a wash, right? Because I think the potential of Loveland is high. Harrison's potential is obviously really high, but Bauer's production is so good right now. And then Addison, has a potential of being good, but if he's on the same team as Jefferson, it's going to be limited for sure. I would, man, it's hard to tell. Man, the thing about these dynasty trades, right? Like I want to see the team the guy has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's hard to tell. Like if he needs, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I would say, I think without seeing anything, I would keep just because of Bauer's production is really good. And the Raiders are getting Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, I just think the upside of Marvin Harrison Jr. is bigger than Addison.
Yeah.
It's the only thing. And Loveland, I still think Loveland's good. Maybe he's not Bowers, but like I've said it before, like the quarterback situation in Arizona, it's not great, but Jacoby Brissett can, get guys fantasy points, and you got Michael Wilson there too. But like
he's locked
out of
in
everyone on this list, I feel like there's more breakout players on the Colston Loveland, Marvin Harrison side, like of guys popping this year than there is, you kind of know what you're getting out of Addison. And honestly, Addison might get a ticket, not even get to play.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I had there. I don't have a Mount Rushmore idea right now, Seth, but I could get something going shortly if you have a good idea. If you want to do, I don't know. I figured Jordan, I think, is doing late night March Madness prep. I think he's like picking all his favorite dogs and sea creatures to like win the first round, and then so on.
Yeah, I literally have no idea what Jordan's doing. Literally no clue.
Oh, there's no idea. There's no telling, unfortunately. And maybe we don't want to know.
Maybe we don't.
Yeah. So Seth, you're finally back. We missed you last week.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on a 2-week hiatus. It's been nice. I'll say. Trent and I were gone in Hawaii on a family trip, and then I actually stayed a little bit later with my immediate family, and we stayed a little bit longer. So I missed 2 episodes. Like kind of crazy. We're in that swing of the season. Where we're trying to put out the best we can and trying to figure out a lot of different football stuff to talk about. But we're in that part of the season.
Yeah, we could hop into here what Jordan has. I kind of ran through it all because I was waiting for you. Waddle trade? What do you think about Waddle to Denver, Seth? How are you feeling about that?
So Waddle had one really good year, right? And then he's had a few okay years. He should have had a better year this year, I think, but who knows how good Tua is. I think Bo Nix is better. It's going to be interesting to see what he does at Denver, right? Like we have Courtland Sutton there, but I think it's definitely a place where is Waddle better than Sutton? I don't know. But he might fit into where he could be the best receiver there. Like that, he could become the number one. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's better than Sutton. But I don't really think Sutton's like an all-star either, though. You know, like I think of them as sort of this similar caliber receiver.
I would say Sutton's a little bit more consistent. So actually, Waddle's best
number one, though, right?
Yeah, Waddle's best year was 22. He had 75 receptions, 1,356 yards, and 8 TDs. That was his career high, and he played 17 games. His rookie year, 104 receptions. So had more receptions his rookie year, 1,015 receiving yards, 6 TDs. That 22 season, though, I believe is the year that Tyreek Hill absolutely broke out. So that's why the receptions were, quite a bit lower. So he's gone from – he has had one 100-yard reception season. I'm going to compare him side by side to Courtland Sutton, because Sutton – and here's the thing, though. NFL-wise, this is great on paper for the Broncos because they weren't a wide receiver away from going to the Super Bowl. They were a healthy QB away from going to the Super Bowl. They still have the defense. The running game is developing, and I think it's good for him. And the Dolphins, I think maybe they're just tanking for Arch Manning. So Waddle, Sutton's best year had 8 TDs. So they're very comparable. Obviously, Sutton's been more healthy over the years, but Sutton has never had so Sutton's best receiving yard season was 1,112. Waddle's was 1,356. So Waddle does have more receiving yards than Sutton did
in his best season. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think of him as a similar caliber character. I think Sutton, right, has that consistency as a proven track record that you can rely a little bit more on, but it seems like it could be Waddle's number one wide receiver position to take, I think.
Oh, you think Waddle will take it? I
think it's possible.
I don't know from
what's Waddle, the age difference there?
Waddle's a little bit more of a field stretcher, and Sutton, I feel like it's a little bit different there. Guys in the chat, what are you thinking? Who do you have is better? So Sutton's 3 years and 3 years older than Waddle.
Yeah, so a little bit of age, not crazy, but
a
little bit.
So Seth, we did our top 5 wide receiver duos here, and I will. I know you don't have a list here. Who is a top 5 wide receiver wild card that's not on this list? I have the 2025 finish there. If you're looking in the chat, in the doc, who would be a wild card that's not on this list that you would have breaking this top 5?
Oh, Jordan's here. Who is someone I would have on this list?
It's a wild card.
Oh, man.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
I don't know.
Would you have I don't know. I'm looking at it. Jordan, do you as a wild card? Do you see Sutton and Waddle being a top 5 wide receiver duo here?
I think it's possible for sure.
Yeah. What worries me about those guys, I just asked Seth what his was if he had a wild card. What worries me about those guys is I feel like their defense is too good for them to.
Yeah, they don't have to throw the football enough.
Yeah, that's my worry there.
But Sutton and Franklin weren't far off this past year.
Yeah, they were pretty close. So before we go into that top, so I put where are we ranking Jaylen Waddle, Courtland Sutton as a wide receiver duo. I put a poll on this: top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20. I top 10 is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Fantasy wise, I think it's hard to argue with that.
Definitely.
Jordan, you're not like top 5's possible. Maybe it would have been, maybe the right thing should have been was 9, 8, 6, 5 or something like that. Those tops. But 41% said top 10. 17% said top 20, which is more than said top 5. So interesting poll there. And then before we just get in the absolute duos here, I can wait till we did a few weeks ago. We did Jamar Chase versus Puka Nacua. Who would you rather draft in fantasy football? I think we're Puka all the way across the board, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was close. Like we were both like I don't think there's a wrong answer. But I just think
I just think that Puka has a little more durability to him. To me, it seems like that. As of now.
Maybe stability wise. So I threw another one out there because we're doing duos. I felt like this was probably going to be the top duos there. Devontae Adams or T. Higgins, half-point PPR redraft. Who would you rather have there?
I'm going Adams.
I think it's T.
You think it's T? So you would rather draft T over Devontae. You don't think he comes back with the...
I don't know. T was pretty good last year.
Yeah, so just looking on... Do I have Sharp Fantasy up there? Seth? No, I don't. So T is going before Devontae right now. And on X, I did a poll here with that, and I have 238 votes. 60% said T. Higgins, 39.9% said Devontae Adams. Stardom, Sidham, FF said tricky, but if Adams still on the Rams, I would go with him. All the comments are completely Adams. PPR Fantasy Tip said Adams for half point, stays healthy on elite offense, and big volume, huge red zone target. I think you could say that Devontae Adams is basically kind of like the passing version of the tush push. Is that, like all those 1 yard TDs?
They're both like super touchdown dependent, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like neither of them went up for over 1,000 yards last year. Devontae had 14 touchdowns. T. Higgins had 11. So like they're both just super touchdown dependent. Like I think T. Higgins has more upside at this stage of his career.
I think T. Higgins has more upside of having a big receiving game, whereas Devontae I think can, have those 80 yards, 2 touchdown games,
Yeah,
So,
I think like Devontae's floor is higher. But like the other thing is that the Bengals defense is still gonna suck.
Exactly.
So like they're still gonna have to throw. Like we're talking about fantasy football here, not real life. Like real life, it's probably Devontae and Puka, but like for fantasy, like we still have to consider the fact that they're gonna be throwing a ton. And T. Higgins did that without a healthy Burrow. So like I don't know.
Yeah. So according to Sharp Football Analysis, going off best ball, which best ball is different. Maybe Devontae's more of a boom guy for best ball. Devontae right now is wide receiver 23, and T. Higgins is wide receiver 14. So, decent amount later. I feel like it should be a little closer, but Devontae is getting older.
It's also like stacking partners too. Like Burrow goes higher than Stafford, and like if you take Burrow and you don't get Chase, like you have to get Higgins, so. And like Stafford, people aren't stacking Stafford or that as like a primary stack,
Yeah.
Hey Trent, I don't know what you guys had talked about before I hopped on, but before we have we gone through any of the duos yet?
No. I just asked Seth what his wild card would be if he had.
So I have a real quick before we get into it. I have a dynasty trade I made today.
Oh, nice. Let's break it down.
Let it eat.
So I have this is the league, the orphan league that I took over, and I had both Burrow and Drake May in a 1 QB league. So I was not going to trade the dynasty. I was not going to trade May. I was like, he's off the top, untouchable. So this guy, I said Burrow, okay, because I feel like at this point, like he's had to trade one of them, right? My team sucks. Like there's no reason to keep both.
Mm-hmm.
So I traded Burrow, and mind you, I did not have a first-round pick in this year's draft. So I traded Burrow for a first-round pick in this year's draft, Blake Corum, Will Shipley, and Anthony Richardson. Like the Anthony Richardson, Will Shipley are pretty much throw-ins. The main two was Blake Corum and the first-round pick for Joe Burrow. And Blake Corum will be my best running back immediately on this roster. So, and honestly, like even Will Shipley, like if something were to happen to Saquon, like
solid.
So
maybe could get you a couple wins.
Yeah, like I feel like I feel like it's a decent job for Burrow. Like there's just not a lot in a dynasty one quarterback league. There's just not a huge market for quarterbacks.
Yeah,
and the fact that I got a first round pick, I feel pretty good about. So, and I didn't have a first round pick in this year's draft.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And Richardson, I know, is probably nothing, but like dynasty wise, there's still a little bit of value. Like he goes to the right spot.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 3 games together where he starts running around and whatever. Like you could have probably traded Richardson for a first round draft pick 2 years ago.
You're probably right.
Like he's fallen really fast. I think that's a perfect throw-in player that whatever, like it's kind of like Kyler Murray going to the Vikings. Like it's a garbage bin, a bargain bin player that the upside's there and you're getting him for nothing. So I don't dislike that at all for dynasty. No, I think that's good.
I mean, I'm probably going to have to
trade Shipley to the Saquon guy for a second round pick or something. I don't know, third round pick. Sometimes guys.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably in trouble if the Drake May bye week. I'm probably in trouble, but
yeah, that's okay. Hey, but maybe you get somebody on waivers, or maybe you get some rookie quarterback that's starting by the time that bye week rolls around.
Yeah, so, probably my fit. Yeah.
Any dynasty questions, trades? We broke a trade down earlier. Guys, let us know in the chat. Go to tffdudes@gmail.com. Send us an email. We'll break that down. Hoping to get a little bit more of a consistent schedule here with stuff. But we got our top 5 fantasy wide receiver duos. We got our top 5. We did this last year, got a lot of positive feedback on it. Going off of last year's fantasy duos, I'll just read those to you. I did this on Grok. I asked them for the top fantasy top half point PPR fantasy points from last year, 2025 finish. There's not really a site out there that kind of matches those up for you. So Grok did a little bit of math there. And so I believe it's pretty accurate. Pickens and CD Lamb were at 5 last year with 408 fantasy points. JSN and Shaheed at 427. I don't know how that's possible. Like, how many fantasy points did JSN have? He had to have had.
He had all of them.
All of those, basically. I think they just threw something in there. But no, he would have been number 1 if that's the case. And he was, what wide receiver was he? He was top 3. Chase and Higgins at 3 with 433. He was wide receiver
1.
Yeah. St. Brown and JMO at 452. Then Puka and Adams at 503. So I ran that on Grok. Maybe there's some issues there. I just asked it. Jordan, are you looking right just totally wrong?
No. Sorry.
So just quick math. I didn't feel like adding up every NFL team's top 2 wide receivers to do that. So that's what we had there. We had Cowboys, Seahawks, Bengals, Lions, Rams. Jordan. The only one that really surprised me is there's JSN on there, which is basically by himself, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, just because he had a crazy year, and then they threw Shaheed's numbers on there, and then it just kind of that's why it propelled even a duo into that.
Do you think that's only Shaheed's numbers from Seattle or Shaheed's numbers?
No, that's probably including it on the Saints.
I bet it included both, Jordan. I bet it did. I bet it jacked it up and did that because I wonder if he had more than Cooper Kupp. Probably had more than him. So if you take them out, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith had 344.
Yeah.
So. And then Sutton and Franklin at Denver, 327. So Anyways, for wild card, Seth, you want to just lead this here? You can start from wild card, then go to the top 5.
Yeah, I will. Sorry, where is the wild card? I am not. Oh, the wild card. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with your guys' wild cards. Trent, you have Godwin and Egbuka, so going with the Bucks here, and then Jordan. I thought it surprised me a little bit more. I thought maybe Trent would be on this one a little bit more. Jordan has Romo Dunze and Luther Burden, so taking a rookie in here. You guys want to talk about that one?
Well, not a rookie anymore, Seth.
Luther Burden?
Well, yeah, he was a rookie last year.
Oh, yes, sorry. Whatever. I don't know why I thought rookie again.
Yeah, I went with Godwin's on a contract year. It seems like Godwin on these contract years usually does. If he's healthy, he's pretty good. Ibuka, we don't really know what we got. He showed like top 8 NFL wide receiver, maybe higher than that for a few weeks in the NFL last year. We got a bunch of vacated targets there in Tampa Bay with no Mike Evans. Chris Godwin, they're saying, is wide receiver 1 there. So for them to be a wild card that maybe crack the top 5 with, a defense that's not that good, I thought they were a decent wild card to throw in there. I was trying to, maybe put Neighbors in there, Jordan, but the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't see him. And who's this other wide receiver? It's not Wandale. It's
but they might
Slater.
draft like
Yeah, they could.
Cardinal Tate is like what a lot of people think they're going to do. So,
okay. So yeah, I just with the current pieces, I couldn't keep Neighbors there. And I just thought bad defense there in Tampa. Maybe they just throw the ball a ton. And it wouldn't shock me if those guys end up being a top 5, wide receiver duo this year. So I don't know if you totally dislike that, Jordan. If you
I think with the Evans gone, like there's a lot of vacated production there. So, I just don't really think Godwin. I don't know. Godwin just. I don't know.
Well, would it shock you if it was another guy there in Tampa Bay? Because I even thought
McMillan and Ibuka.
McMillan and Ibuka or something like that. Like they have a lot of wide receivers that they seem to. That's the one spot they seem to draft wide receivers pretty well. And they all are kind of streaky. I think outside of Evans, they're streaky, but Godwin on a contract year as the wide receiver 1, I thought maybe he gets something done there. Do you think Godwin gets drafted before Emeka?
No, there's no way.
No.
Even though, yeah, because I'm going to look right now.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Look at Bucks here. Because I saw that today that they were labeling him as that, but yeah, Emeka's going as 18. Godwin's going as wide receiver 45. So it's not even close. That makes So Jordan, you got Rome and Burden.
Yeah, I think Rome with more gone, the Bears are going to throw a ton. So I just think you got Rome's going to be the guy. I think Burden could easily be like a top 20 wide receiver. I think these guys could both easily be top 15 wide receivers. So I think Rome's ceiling, I think they're both ceilings have potential to be high ceilings. So I just think it's a good duo. They're going to throw a lot. Good quarterback, good coach, good offensive system, vacated targets. Obviously, Loveland is going to have his say in that offense too. So, but I do think Burden and Rome both have really good upside.
Yeah, I looked at that one too. Loveland's the one that worries me there. When you're drafting tight ends and you draft tight ends early, I know you don't do that, Jordan. You kind of look at guys when you go take those early tight ends that could be the number 1 option in that offense, right? Do you guys see Loveland as potentially still being that number 1 option in that offense? He did lead them in receptions last year and yards. Or you think we just get the Rome breakout?
I think it's Burden breakout, to be honest. I think Burden's gonna have a huge role in that offense.
Seth, what are you thinking there?
Man, I don't know. I think I think what's hurts Jordan the most is Loveland's going to have a big presence. I think that's the only reason why I could see, it not being in the top 5. Other than that, I do tend to agree that the Bears are going to throw a lot. There's just 3 mouths to feed, I think that's the hardest part.
So, yeah, well, the Lions with Ben Johnson, they were able to get Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown, fed. They had those guys on.
And JMO.
Yeah, and JMO.
Yeah,
but in that year where Laporta had a good year, JMO and ASB weren't a top 5 duo.
Yeah, I think JMO was
because Laporta didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, and JMO was, I think, like suspended most of that season too.
Yeah.
So, but maybe that helps. But you don't have the running game there in Chicago quite yet. But going to the next one, Seth, what do we have on the next one here?
Yeah, we'll go to your guys' hitting in the top 5. Trent, you have JSN and Shaheed, and so do you, Jordan. So you guys can talk about that duo here. What do you think Shaheed's going to do?
It's got to be Shaheed, right? They just paid him all the money. He's got to be the 2 there. It's not Cooper Kupp. And maybe there's just a little bit more there.
I think it was an overpay, to be honest.
Yeah, but you need that. You need his skill set to complement JSN. So it makes sense.
Yeah, good field stretcher, punt returner.
I mean, this is definitely more on JSN than anybody else, but I think that it's possible.
JSN than anybody.
Yeah, like
it's
definitely possible.
Yeah. I don't think. Do you think JSN falls down back a little bit this year, though, Jordan? You think he kind of goes back to what he was? Cap and Moistbeard.
He's going to be a top 5 receiver again.
Yeah, I know Captain will agree with
Captain
you.
Here. What's up?
Top 5, but can top 5 Captain? Like if he finishes as 5th, that might not pull the whole team up to 5th, like he did this past year.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, neither of them were top 5 receivers.
Seth, how are you feeling without Kenneth Walker?
Well, it's interesting. Your main running back towards ACL might not be good to go for week 1. So I don't know. We'll see if they're drafting a running back. And I don't know if Charbonnet can do it all himself. So,
well, they signed who they pick up anybody?
I'm sure they did, but I'm sure they're going to draft someone. It's my guess.
Yeah, Captain said JSN shakes safeties like they're in high school, and K9 deserve better. Honestly, they probably should have gave K9 the ball more the whole season. Like they leaned on him in the Super Bowl, but like let that guy take over. Kind of weird wearing a John Madden shirt to your contract signing in Kansas City, though, right? Like that's a kind of a weird move. Him coaching a Raiders coaching shirt. It wasn't even like a Madden football shirt. It was just him wearing a John Madden coaching, like winning the Super Bowl shirt. Not terrible. Guys wore worse stuff. Like you also what Emmitt Smith wore when he got drafted. But yeah, so I got JSN and Shaheed. What do we have next, Seth?
Yep, at 4, Trent, you have Lamb and Pickens, the Cowboy fan coming out in you, but I think everyone agrees there. And then Jordan has ASB and JMO, which we'll get to 3. You guys have those swapped, but
yeah, we just have them flipped.
Go to explain why you guys have them different. Maybe
there's really no wrong. Maybe you could argue something on wild card, but like I think it's all pretty safe. Like there shouldn't be anything too crazy on here, right, Jordan? Like I don't think there's anything where like and honestly, like the Cowboys with Lamb and Pickens, do we think that Pickens really is like a top 8 fantasy wide receiver?
Trent, we lost you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you very well.
So
Trent.
Pickens on the franchise tag.
Got you now.
Okay. Like I said, Pickens on the franchise tag. I think he's probably with the prove it situation scenario. It's probably a good spot having them at 4 as a duo, and Jordan has him at 3. It's probably safe. I think he's pretty hungry to get that big payday. And then, what do you mean, Captain? You don't know what JMO's doing on there?
I mean, JMO's like, I don't know. I think JMO and ASB is pretty good. So, but I'm also a JMO guy.
I think it's perfect because ASB is going to have a big year every year. He's going to be a top 8 receiver every year, and then JMO's probably going to be in a top 20. So it just makes sense.
I mean, his upside, JMO's upside is crazy too,
and huge. It's huge, yeah.
I wish I was in the RV, Captain. I'm not, but not a terrible idea. Trent needs to park the RV closer to the clubhouse, get better Wi-Fi. Amen. The thing with JMO is I agree, Jordan. I think that's a top 5 duo for sure. I don't see myself drafting JMO. He is so frustrating. He is so
last year
frustrating.
Was the same way. Like he was too drafted too high. I mean, 2 years ago he was awesome. I don't.
Yeah. It's so feast or famine with him though. Like, and it's kind of unbearable, honestly, at times. Right now, he's going as wide receiver 22. So, guys, he's going behind in best ball, which best ball, I feel like Jamison Williams should probably go higher. He's going behind Devonta Smith. He's going behind Luther Burden, Zay Flowers, Emeka Ibuka, Lad McConkey, Garrett Wilson, Rashee Rice, and Tatora McMillan. Is there anybody on that list?
That makes sense to me, though.
Anybody on that list you would take JMO ahead of?
A lot of those guys are the first wide receiver on teams.
Yeah.
So you would rather have Luther Burden than Jamison
I would rather.
Williams,
and Devonta Smith has proven himself to possibly be the wide receiver 1 there too.
Yeah, who knows what happens with AJ Brown?
Like I think Devonta Smith could be a steal this year if you get him late.
Yeah, and Captain saying too many weapons on there with Laporta and all of them. Like, yeah, we didn't get a good Laporta here this year. Like maybe Laporta comes back and that makes it a little weirder. Muddies the waters.
I think if you can get the way I see how to get JMO is if you get like 2 pretty good running backs, or you get like 2 pretty good receivers and a good running back, and JMO's your 3rd wide receiver. I think that's fine. I think him as your solid 2 is not your best option, but I think if you can get him as your 3rd wide receiver, it'd be pretty good.
The chat, this is what I like to see. Captain's actually going after Seth right now. Take your L.
Take what L?
Devonta Smith. That's what he's talking about. Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Jordan, Devontae Adams, or Jamison Williams? You taking JMO?
Devontae.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Seth, are you Devontae or Jamison Williams?
I'm taking Devontae Smith for sure.
I gotta get the chat on the screen.
No, wait. You said Devontae Adams or Devontae Smith?
So I meant to say Devontae Adams. Did I say the wrong name? It's kind of they're both kind of there.
Devontae Adams for sure.
Yeah.
It's probably both, but
yeah, it's probably both.
Man, you guys think AJ Brown gets traded?
I don't know.
I think there's a decent chance he does.
Who'd they sign that? And it's like record amount of trades in the NFL right now. Do you see this? There's like 4 more trades than what there was a year ago. Like just trade city. And I brought this up earlier. Browns wanting to trade picks from 5 years out. They proposed that today. Do you guys like that? Dislike it? I think from an entertainment standpoint, I think it's great. I don't know if like
the Eagles signed Hollywood.
Yeah. I feel like Devonta Smith and Hollywood are basically the same player. Probably Devonta's better, but it's like same type of player, not same player.
Yeah.
Hollywood didn't really do anything though on the Chiefs. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Next, Seth, who do we got?
All right. Well, at 3, we had basically the ones you guys had, transposed. So I guess we'll go straight into 2, which is kind of transposed with 1. But basically, I guess you guys with 1 and 2, can you explain why you have one picked over the other? I think that's a good way to talk
I
about
feel
it.
like this is just what I have Puka and Adams. Jordan has Chase and Higgins, and we have them flipped. So Jordan has Puka,
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, so I got Bengals at 2, Rams at 1. Jordan's got Rams at 2, Bengals at 1. And
just because I think
defense.
Yeah, like that. Like I think Higgins' upside's higher than Devontae Adams. So that's it's you're flipping coins. Like it's a coin flip.
I think there's something to be said about the defense of the Bengals. I think that's the biggest reason why I would lean that way. But if I had to pick one player, out of the 4, I'm definitely picking Puka. Like that's the guy I'm going for. But
so Seth, you would go Puka, it's Chase, Higgins, Adams.
Yeah, that's what I would do for sure. But I think Jordan, I lean towards the best duo being this year. Granted, all the quarterback, Burrow, Chase, and Higgins are healthy. I think if they're all healthy, and the same goes for the Rams, I think they win for the best duo. I just lean that way, just because of the Bengals defense being terrible, and like Burrow could throw the ball 600 times this season.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Who do you think threw more passes in the red zone?
Between
Burrow and Stafford.
Well, I mean, Stafford probably threw more because Burrow didn't play.
Yeah,
you're right. My bad. Yeah, that explains it. Yeah, Stafford went crazy in the red zone.
Stafford threw a lot. Yeah, the Rams threw a lot in the red zone this year.
And I would have thought with Kyron they wouldn't have. So Kevin Moisebeard says it's all about pass attempts, and the Eagles are like last multiple years in a row. So that's his Devonta Smith take. Then T is so tall and talented. I like that Stafford, and maybe it was just Kevin says tight end stuff messes up Rams duos, and Puka didn't really have many TDs. Yeah, it all goes to Adams there. Well, it did this past year. I think it just comes down to Sean McVay and Rams QB. But I do like the defensive side, Jordan. Like thinking that way is like the Bengals, even if they all stay healthy, they're probably going to have to score 45 points per game to win, and maybe probably more. So
I mean,
I think I could be swayed that Chase is better than Adams. Or is better than Puka. I could be swayed there, depending, what day of the week it is. Right now, I feel like it is Puka, but man, that NFC West is so tough too. Like good defenses. The more you think about it, it probably is Chase. And like I'm thinking about right now, it probably is Chase and Higgins, Jordan. Like, little worse division. You do got a lot of dome games.
If Burrow was healthy, I think it's Chase and Higgins.
Yeah. Captain says his wife says she'd draft Burrow number 1 overall. He's not sure how he'd feel about that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be happy about that, but hopefully she's talking about fantasy football.
Sad. So that's our top 5 there. I think we've talked about Puka and Chase the last couple weeks, a few weeks ago. Jordan, were you doing last minute prep for March Madness? Is that where you've been? Like that's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's where it all starts.
Yeah, it is tomorrow. Yep.
Are you all set? Tomorrow. How many brackets are you in?
Just 2 and a couple survivor entries, and
I have not filled out a bracket yet. I will do that tomorrow morning. Jordan, can we talk just like, you don't have to say how much you want to talk about, your big weekend, your big winnings. Like, you had a pretty nice
weekend. So I had a really good DraftKings weekend. I won like $6,500 on like $40. So
that's a big percentage right there.
Yeah, I took down the main like college basketball GPP on DraftKings. So so we're gonna roll some of that.
People put in for those. Like how many entries were in that?
I could probably find out.
That's always cool to know.
Just shoot off the top of your head. Shoot from the hip, Jordan. Kind of like your
There's
basketball
probably
shot.
5,000 maybe in there. Let me see.
That's a lot. That's cool.
I have it right here. No, I lied. 1.7 thousand. So 1.7 I took first. So it was a 10K to first, but I split it with two guys. I tied with someone. So we split the first, second pot together.
So Jordan, a lot of guys will probably listen to this too late, So he said, Jordan's got some bragging rights at his church basketball league. Amen. Right there, Captain. So Jordan, I'm about to set up my bracket here. Like, just give us 4 Cinderella teams that you could see making like Sweet 16, winning a game.
Cinderella teams. I think Akron could make the Sweet 16, because they'd have to beat they're the 12-5, and then they'd have to play Bama in the sweet to go to the Sweet 16. I think St. John's could make the Final Four. Like, they're a 5 seed. They could beat Duke. I don't know if VCU could go to the Sweet 16, but I think they could win their first game against North Carolina. Let's see. You said one more. Let's see. It's hard. I think most, to be honest, like, it's a lot of the good teams are going to kind of advance, but I think like UCLA maybe could go to the Sweet 16, or the final, or the Elite 8. I think they could beat UConn.
Cal Baptist playing at Kansas, no shot there.
I don't think they have a shot, but I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't really see it. Santa Clara could beat Kentucky. They're a 10 seed. Akron to beat Texas Tech, and then possibly Alabama, because Alabama's going to be without their second best player. So, and Texas Tech is without their stud towards ACL a couple weeks ago. So.
Okay. And that's the other thing too, is like, it seems like there's always some 12 seeds that win. Like, you think we get like McNeese beating Vanderbilt or something?
I don't see it. Vandy's pretty good.
And then
Vandy has a kid from where we live, our area.
All right. What about Texas beating BYU?
It's possible for sure. I mean, Devance's really, really, really good though, so he might just carry them to a win. But that is definitely live for sure.
I said a few weeks ago that NFL free agency is probably like one of the most inefficient work days of the year, because like everything just went crazy. This is definitely it's definitely like second or third to this. Like, where I work, we'll have the basketball on in there, so that'll be good. But yeah, I don't. Outside of that, Jordan, you don't have any like lucky snacks you eat every game while you're watching the March Madness? Do you have something you do different? Like, when it comes down to picking these brackets, are you like, you always go with the animal team? You pick the Jaguars because that's your favorite animal. It's like you watch.
No, nothing crazy like that. I just try to. Brackets are hard, man.
He has one game on each TV, and they're all split into quad screens. So he's got 16 games going.
Do we got any weird streaming rights going on during March Madness? I thought there was something where like one channel wasn't doing it or something. Or am I thinking of something else?
I have no idea.
Honestly, Moist Beard, I don't like Texas. I'm not a UT guy. I do have a couple, Oklahoma hats, if that means anything. Maybe that makes you judge me a little bit, but I am a Cowboys fan, so maybe that's why I think I'm such a Texas guy. Like, there's that song about all my exes there, I think, or something like that. But guys, I think that kind of does it. We got to get a Mount Rushmore for next week. We'll get that back together. Still warming up. Thankfully, my laptop was ready in time, but we got to go. We got to get rid of, these, have a couple bugs. We're a little rusty. Seth couldn't find the link. Not sure what it was.
Could not find the link. Couldn't
find the link. Last week, I couldn't find my laptop which was under my kid's car seat in the back seat, because we had just got done traveling. I threw the car seat on top of my laptop. Just all around bad deals. Coleman's got the March Madness time going tomorrow. I want to know if he fills out a bracket. That's what I want to know. Is he do the bracket? Like, I feel like that is a lot of work if you're doing a bracket for that. But I guess with the apps, everything's pretty easy. So anyways, think that does it, guys. Think that wraps it up. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry about the link, Seth. We'll be all the kinks will be worked out by next time.
Yeah.
I got a Starlink on the way. I might try that out, Moist Beard. So anyways, see you guys next time. Jordan, you have any team that you want to give a little shout out to right now? Like go Badgers or something? Are you all good?
Nope, I'm good. Go St. John's. St. John's the Final Four.
Go St. John, Final Four.
Johnny's.
Oh,